Welcome into this video. I would like to take you through filing of return for a TSC employee, but this video will apply to all civil servants in Kenya. This is the best practice and the best method which we use. I know your PIN form usually differs from the other PIN form from the private sector. So based on that, I have demonstrated this using the TSC PIN form and shown you how you can file your returns. So what you're supposed to do, just enter your KRA PIN here, then hit continue. You need to come here and input your password. Then you'll be prompted to do a simple mathematical computation here, which is basically 61 minus 7, which is 54. Then you need to log into the portal. So when you log into the portal, you come to where we have return and you come to where we have file return. When you come into this window, you need to enter your tax obligation. The taxpayer PIN and the type is already auto-populated. So the tax obligation is income tax resident individual. Then hit next. After doing that, you can either choose to use the manual form Excel sheet which you are using previously, or make your work easier and download the auto-populated income tax return. So just hit OK to download it. After hitting OK to download it, I'll just come here and open this zip file which has been downloaded. So I get back into my file manager, and after getting back to the file manager, I'll come at a download, and at a download I'll come above the sheet which I have downloaded. First, before you open this sheet, to avoid blocking by macros, you just need to come to where we have the properties, then click unblock, then apply, then click OK. Don't forget to do this so that you don't experience problem with macros blocking you in Excel, which is much prevalent today. So you come here now and you can extract this document. So I need to extract it here. So when you extract this document, you'll be able to get your Excel worksheets. So just click above them, come to where we have open, and open with Excel. So I have already opened mine to avoid delay since my computer is a bit sluggish because it contains a lot of data. So I am running out of space. So from there, you open this sheet. You notice that this sheet, which is ITR auto-populated, all the data is already auto-populated in this Excel sheet. So your employment income, you can see it is already auto-populated. But here is where I have caution. You need to compare what is appearing to the pre-populated Excel sheet and what it is in your PIN form. So I need to get back to my PIN form, come to where I have taxable pay. So you can notice in most civil servant PIN form, the taxable pay is usually equivalent to the gross pay. That is the one which is usually pre-populated as a gross pay in your PIN form. That does not, the same logic does not apply to the people working in the private sectors. So when we come to the taxable pay, which is our gross pay, it is here, is subject to tax. So let's get back into our Excel sheets, which are here. It's 543,848. 543,848 is here. It is correctly auto-populated. So this amount, you must ensure you are not given allowance and benefit from employment other than car and housing. If you have other allowances, you are supposed to enter them here. In my case, I don't have them. So we can continue. And we can have, if you have any car benefit. I don't have any car benefit. The net value of housing, if you are provided by housing by your employer, the net value. The pension, if it exceeds this amount, mine have not. So when we come, the total employment income is adding up to 543,848. So we are correct up to that point. The adjustment is done correctly. So we need to come to the MPE. When we come into the MPE, you need to compare also. You can compare the PIN of the employer is correct. because this is auto-populated, it is prone to error. The taxable salary, so this is the salary which is subject to tax. So the taxable salary which is here, this is the difference between so we have the taxable pay as 503,848. So the taxable salary we need to net off of all the allowable expenses, and now we get that value as 451,061.55. So this is the taxable salary after minusing all the allowable expenses. So this is net of the taxable pay minus all the allowable expenses. That's where we are getting the taxable salary. But in most P9 form, in the people in the private sector, all of this is usually done for you. But in this case, it is not done for us, and I will not go to the nitty-gritties of calculating it. So we need to get into the taxable pay on taxable salary. So to get the taxable pay on taxable salary, what we need to do basically, because this is not the right computation, what we need basically to do, we need to get back into a P9 form. I show you something. You need to take the tax which you pay, the taxable pay, or pay, not the taxable pay, the pay, that is the amount of tax which you paid of, let me come to my calculator. So you need to take the pay, which is the tax payable on income tax, which is of 42,137.70. You add the monthly personal relief of 28,800. Then okay, so this is the amount of the taxable pay which is here. Let me come back to the sheets. So this is the amount which should be here. That's why I have said, even if you are using the auto-populated sheet, you need to do some adjustments. So from there, so the difference between the tax payable on the taxable salary and the amount of pay, it should be the amount of tax payable or refundable. So this is the monthly personal relief, which should be appearing here to know that you are correct. So the figure which should be appearing here is the figure of the annual personal relief of 28,800. That is the tax refundable. So now from that area, we can get to the tax computation. When we get into the tax computation, what we need to check here, you need to check if the defined or pension contribution is well reflected in your P9 form. As you can see, the actual amount of the pension which I have is 32,989.90. So I need to come here and confirm it is the same amount. You can see here is 31. So I need to do the adjustment here with the correct figure of 32. This is a lot of money, 32,989.90. So I need to calculate it here. I need to enter it here, So it is 32,988.90. So just hit enter. So what we need also to come here and check is if the amount of affordable housing levy is adjusted correctly. So this amount, what we usually do, as we know, affordable housing levy is 1.5% of your gross income. So as you can see in my P9 form, the gross total income is of 503,848. 503,848 multiplied by 0.015, giving us 757.60. This is calculated correctly. So when we come to the social health insurance fund, what we need to do, we will just confirm if it is calculated also correctly. So we'll come here at my calculator and take, as we know, it is 2.75% of your gross pay. So it is 0.0275 multiplied by 503. So I need to see the PIN form. 503,848, giving us a value of 13,855.82. So it is correct. This is just rounding off. So the amount of tax which I'm supposed to pay as per now is of this amount. As you can notice, these are the values which I've been able to adjust, so they are here. So this is the amount of tax which I'm supposed to pay to the revenue authority after doing all the adjustment correctly. So if you are good with what you have done, you can come here and validate these sheets. So let us continue validating, but this is how we do, even if we are using the auto-populated ITR, income tax return, you need to reference your PIN form to offer credit where it is, due to avoid underpaying or overpaying KRA and then running into trouble. So this is the best practice, of always confirming what you are doing, because you can do a lot of work and then get into a lot of troubles which you don't understand by using the shortcut. So the shortcut is good since it is saving us time. It's just confirmation if there is any disparity between the auto-populated sheet and what we have in the revenue authority. So I have been told by this that the sheet are all ready to be uploaded. Do you want to generate? Yes, I want to generate. So what you need to do when you generate this sheet, always notice where they are being saved. You can see mine have been saved as document, today's date, and the time which they have been uploaded. Even the second is given. Then I click OK. With no much ado, I'll get back into the portal. I will come here, choose the file, get into the document, come and check the file which have been downloaded right now. So I need to get here. These are 736. So it is this one. So if when I need to come here, then I'm being asked if I have rent or property. I say no. Then I agree to the condition and terms. And with no much ado, what I will do now, I'll scroll downward, and if I'm good with everything which I've done, I'll just click OK. But because I want to know if the client is good with the liability which he has been given, I'll not submit right now, but after we have agreed, I will submit and download and print the acknowledgement letter and make the necessary payment if he will be making the necessary payment today. So please, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to give the video a thumb up and also to hit the subscribe button so that you will not miss out any of our future running content like this. In case you need me to give you some training on how you can deal with income tax and everything you want to know about income tax, VAT, withholding VAT, and withholding tax, everything you want to know, and the e-teams and the logic behind e-teams and the generating invoice which are e-team compliant, please kindly reach me.